Okay guys, we're going to be going over the Year 9 Season 4.2 patch notes. Okay guys, they actually did change quite a bit of stuff here, so let's dive right into it. For Oryx, they ended up reducing his recovery time when he's dashing to an opponent from 0.5 to 0.2 seconds, as well as dashing against a wall, it went down from 0.3 to 0.5, and also when he's dashing towards an enemy, it's going to be to 0.1 seconds to 0.5. Now, looking at these numbers, you would think that these numbers don't really make much of a difference, but actually experiencing it during the game is actually a huge difference. You're not going to be knocked down as much, and you're actually going to be able to recover way faster than the enemy, and this is going to help Oryx a lot in terms of being able to recover faster and just kill the enemy, being able to use his ability overall. Actually a really good buff for Oryx, and I actually do see a lot of people now starting to go Oryx because of this. Now for the next operator that got changed is Capcan. They ended up removing his Nitro Cell and adding Barbed Wire. If I'm being honest, I don't think this really needed to be changed at all. Capcan's banned most of the time in ranked anyway, and now they're removing another good part of him and adding Barbed Wire. Barbed Wire is not a bad utility at all. It's just when it comes to utility, a Nitro Cell is obviously the best. So obviously, I do think a lot of people are upset by this, but regardless, I don't think it's going to make that big of a difference. But yeah, so Capcan got a bit of a nerf, but it could have been worse. Next operator, we have Legion. His refill time increased to 30 seconds from 25, so now his goos are going to take even longer to recuperate. Now, he did go from 9 to 8 goo mines now, so now the max you can have is 8. And by the end of the prep phase into the match, you would have 4 goo mines instead of 5, so that's where that extra one would be missing. Ubisoft felt like they had to do this because it gets to the point where Legion has a lot of map control, and he has so many goo mines he can utilize to control where the attackers are coming from, so they felt like they had to change this. This is not a huge change either. It's only 1 goo mine and a 5-second difference between the recovery, so it is a bit of a nerf, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. For the next operator, we have Buck. Now obviously they removed his hard breaches and added a claymore. Honestly, this is not really a big change either. Don't really think they needed to do this, but obviously Ubisoft felt like they had to balance the operator a bit more. You know, having the skeleton key, it's going to allow you to open up soft walls anyway, and they just felt like it was kind of too much with Buck being able to open reinforced walls too with a hard breach. But I think most people run flashes anyway, so I don't think this is really going to affect much people, but let me know what you guys think in the comments. Now the next operator, they removed the secondary shotgun for Ram. It's always nice to have a shotgun on attacking as a secondary, and I guess they felt like Ram had too much at her disposal, so I guess they felt like it was necessary to remove this. Like I said, I don't think there's a huge change either, but it's definitely a bit of a nerf to Ram as well. With Sledge, they reduced his health from 2 to 3, and he's actually gonna be faster now. Now he's a 2 speed instead of a 1 speed. I actually like this change a lot just because of the fact that Buck is also a 2 speed operator, and Sledge and Buck are pretty much the same operator in terms of what they're capable of doing. They can both open up walls with their utility and such, so it only makes sense for them to be basically in the same category in terms of health and speed. So this is actually a pretty good, little bit of a good buff for Sledge. Now obviously the TSG-12, if you guys don't know, that's the shotgun that Cade and Goyo like to use. It did get a buff. It's now going to do 75 damage instead of 63, so you're gonna see a lot more people going the shotgun with Cade and Goyo. You know, obviously Ubisoft wanted this shotgun to do more, and due to the boss tree being so powerful, obviously they nerfed the boss tree, and adding to that, they also increased the damage for the TSG-12, so now this shotgun's going to be more powerful. And the G36C, they reduced the recoil for vertical and lateral, so it's going to be easier to use. So there's another good change that Ubisoft added, so now it's going to be easier to control the gun. Now obviously with the boss G, they did nerf it, so now the damage is going to drop down a little bit, so now you're not going to be able to, you know, basically one tap people across the map with a boss G, unless you're that 1% of people who actually know how to use it 100% of the time. But now you're going to see a lot of people starting to go the boss G even less, because now it's not going to be as easy to hit with it as before. But that's basically all the changes, the main stuff. Let me know what you guys think of the changes. I actually think they did some good changes here. The only one I'm not really a fan of is Capcan losing his C4. Besides, I guess Ubisoft felt like they had to basically nerf him a little bit, even though most of the time he gets banned and ranked anyway. But regardless, I think the rest of the changes are fine. But regardless, let me know what you guys think in the comments, if you guys are a fan of these or not, and tell me why if you're not. But regardless, I hope you guys enjoy the video, and I'll see you guys later.